Hello, everyone. Welcome to Transistors TV. I'm Angel Qinan, and I'm the tech today. So, Ali.
Hi everyone, my name is AllyCat Castle, and as you all know, welcome to Transgender TV, which is a community gathering every Sunday. And as you all know, it's moderated by four of us. We are all proud transgender women of color, of Filipino descent, from all different cities as well. Yes, and tonight's topic is transgender faith. But before that, we will just be checking in on each other. Back to you, Angel.
Yes, thank you for catching me. Because whenever I try to log in, I kind of disappear. So thank you for catching me. I'm Angel Qinan. I'm a registered nurse and I'm an actress. And today I'm your tech for our live stream. And welcome to Transistors TV. Let us introduce our co-hosts also for tonight, Miss Sonia, the only one.
Mabuhay, I'm Sonia, the only one, Sonia Agbayani on Instagram and Facebook, a stylist and works in events production. Yokozo, Japan, Manila, mabuhay. And welcome to Transistor TV.
Arigato.
Well,
And now the next one is Miss Faelnar.
Hi everyone, my name is Faelnar. As Ali mentioned, I'm in LA. Like Angel. Angel's name though is Lost Angel, which is so cute.
I'm a lost angel. Let me fix that.
And I'm an actor, I'm a model, and I work in entertainment production here in Los Angeles.
Great. Yes, and before we announce the winners for last week's question, we also would like to just do a catch up on everyone. So if you could just let us know, guys or girls, everyone, what's the most significant thing that has happened to you this week? If you could share it to us. Who would like to start? Ate Sonia, Lee Angel.
Oh, for my week, significant. Of course, it was Father's Day, and of course, we have this weekly Black Rosary thing. I was the lead for this week for 1 week, and I'm doing it Facebook Live, so it was my turn. And then it was mostly stay home and be safe.
There you go. Thank you so much for that, Ate Sonia. What timely comment that you actually said, because we're gonna be talking about transgender faith. Okay, Ate and Miss Lee or Angel.
Oh my God, yeah, it is Father's Day. So happy Father's Day to all the fathers and father figures that are watching. So this week I finished Terese. If you haven't seen it, it's so cool.
Yeah, so there you go, Terese for Lee. And then as for me, well, basically, as you all know, I had a really, really busy week. So we basically flew quickly to Switzerland, to Geneva for a work trip. And I was there for a day and a half, and we have to fly back right away back here to Washington, D.C. But very thankful for that experience. And that's been my week, pretty busy. And back to you, Angel.
Yes, I love Trece. I watch a few of the episodes. It's basically in Netflix. It's Filipino culture, being shown to the world. For me, California is slowly opening. So we actually went to the mall today with Matt. And it was interesting, but it was nice. I bought 3 shoes, unfortunately, because I went to DSW. But it's interesting, seeing people without masks outside. I still feel uncomfortable, so I actually put my mask whenever I go indoors, and then sometimes I would have it off. I'm still not sure, but that's kind of what's going on in California and with me this week.
Yes, thank you so much for that, Angel. So without further ado, are we going to be announcing last week's winner?
Yes. As you guys know, we're giving back to everyone. So last week, we asked our viewers to leave a comment on what transgender is to you. And we actually have 2 people who responded in terms of what it is for them. Julie Riazin said, as an umbrella term, it has become meaningless as so many groups lay claim to the word. And then you could read the whole comment on our YouTube. And then Eric also had basically he made an acronym out of it, truth rises and naturally shines, giving existence, never distinguishing everybody's representation. So that's transgender for him is. And we're gonna pick a winner. So who wants head or tails?
So heads, let's do for Julie, and tails is for Eric.
Okay. Ah! Hindi na nakita. Oh my God. One more. That doesn't count. Sorry, I didn't see it. So,
Okay.
okay. It's heads.
So there you go. Our
The
winner
Julie
is
one.
Miss Julie. Yes. Okay, so Miss Julie.
Yay, congratulations. So hopefully you guys stay tuned today and also leave a comment because we're going to be raffling again.
So what is
next
Julie
week.
gonna win, Angel? What did she just win?
So $20.
Okay, so now we're gonna be raffling out again a fragrance for next week. All you have to do is, in order for you to be in the raffle, is subscribe to our channel, Transgender TV. Second, like this video. And third, make a comment about faith, on what faith means to you, and you will have a chance to win a fragrance. So if you're from the United States, you will win fragrance. But if you're from overseas, we're going to send you $20 instead. Yes. So now, without further ado, let's begin our topic about transgender faith, or faith in general, because we'll be talking about our experiences on our faith as the reason why we entitled it Transgender Faith. So faith, according to Oxford Languages, is a complete trust or confidence in someone or something. So what do you girls think about the meaning of that? Well, for me, it's like very straight to the point. It's like, complete trust or confidence in someone or something. As for me, I can say that, I have a very strong faith in God. So it's definitely like my faith in him. And at the same time, sometimes when we say like, I have faith in you, so I can say that this is actually pretty accurate. It's short, it's simple, and it's accurate.
Yes.
I think for the topic today, the way I understand faith is basically my relationship with the higher power, and so that's kind of my definition of faith.
For me, it's entrust.
Miss Lee?
I agree with Angel. I agree with Sonia too. I guess, for the topic, yeah, I would say it's like a relationship. If it's basically like the topic that we're discussing, but like on a broader sense, like Oxford description of the word faith.
I know. Well, that's always just how we begin it. We always just want to have like a quick context about that. So we actually have an origin of where we can actually derive things from. But to follow up about relationships or about faith, I also love what I actually read on Wikibooks. And it actually says that, what is the true meaning of faith? Faith means, by the way, just as a disclaimer, we are not imposing our faith on anyone. It's just that I think that sometimes talking about faith, especially in the LGBTQ plus IA community, can be really hard. But it's something that we need to talk about because we never know who can actually benefit from it as well. And we respect everyone's opinions, everyone's beliefs, and everyone's faiths. Yes. So again, as if I can read that, so what is the true meaning of faith? Faith means belief, firm persuasion, assurance, firm conviction, faithfulness. There's actually a feedback. So if someone can actually mute their background, if they can. Okay. So again, what is the true meaning of faith? Faith means belief, firm persuasion, assurance, firm conviction, and faithfulness. Faith is confidence in what we hope for and the assurance that the Lord is working even though we cannot see it. Faith knows that no matter what the situation in our lives or someone else's, that the Lord is working in it. It's very, very serious here. But anyway, I actually really love the fact that, I really love it when I actually read the meaning of this, because the good thing about this one is that regardless of the situation, you know what? You basically just entrust everything that there's higher power that's doing everything for you. I think everything that has happened in my life right now, I can actually say that everything was because of faith. That I was actually I was actually brought to the direction where I needed to be because I just believe that everything that happened in my life, whether that be good or bad, happened for a reason. But because of my faith, whether what happened to me was good or bad, did not lose the faith that I had, because that's the only thing that I was holding on to in times of the most difficult times and even in the most best times as well. Who wants to go next?
For me, I had a different experience from you. Because like on my very difficult times when I wasn't accepted as being part of the LGBTQ community, I feel like I lost faith, I didn't know which direction I would go to. I felt like I was betrayed because I feel like I've been a good person, and why am I being punished just for being who I am? And it took me a while kind of to go back and realize that, you know what, things happen for a reason. Even though growing up, I kind of like always pray saying, Lord, whatever is right for me, do it for me, and which direction you want me to do. But when I went back to church and then kind of like reconnected with my relationship with the higher power, I feel like similar to what you said, whatever happened, good or bad, that's part of my faith. That's part of my journey. It was meant to happen. And I'm very thankful now, and I have no regrets, of like losing faith at that point, because I think that made my faith stronger and my belief in God and higher power at this time better, and better relationship. Yeah. You're on mute, Ally.
There you go. Thank you so much for that, Angel. I mean, that's really touching. Ate Sonia, Miss Lee, how about you?
Yes. Happy mute. Oh, this I never this is such a very issue. As far as I know, I have never let go of my faith in God in all my journeys, and all as far as I'm concerned. The moment I open up my eyes, I already know that there is a God that I will entrust my life, and He has plans for me. And I said, what is happening in my life, God is the one who is doing it for me, and I'm just following it.
Oh, well, we can actually definitely attest that you are really like a steward of Christ, as what you do every week, leading the rosary and, leading your community in prayer as well. And Miss Lee, how about you?
I think I came into, before I felt like I was wearing my bib and I was being spoon fed, like when I was young. Now I feel like I already took off my bib and I'm wearing my own apron now, and I'm actually the one making the food, and knowing what to do with the ingredients that I'm given so that I can create different types of foods for people and for myself as well. So I feel like there's a transition with my belief system. I mean, there was a time as well that I felt like there was like, even if I went to church, it felt like it was just because we were told that it was a duty as Christians or like as Catholics to go to church every Sunday, and I didn't want to go to hell. Like I thought like at least like make me go to purgatory but not to hell. But like you know what I mean, like you do like the good stuff, and then even though you feel like you're not like 100% worthy, so basically that was me before I was introduced and actually found MCC. So basically after I found MCC, like I feel like I'm ready to serve, y'all. I'm ready to serve my food. Come and eat.
There you go. Well, I'm glad that you found your MCC, exactly whichever organization or people or ways that we can actually find our ways into. So I actually really would like to ask this question before anything else as well. Was there ever a time in your life that you questioned your faith, and why? And if you can give us like a specific example for that, since you know what, we're actually talking about that as well.
So I already kind of answered that. So Ate Sonia and Lee, do you?
I mean, all the time, all the time. I think all the time when like something happens and then you don't expect it to happen and you think like you're strong enough. Like it's, I don't think like you're. Okay, so like before, yes, probably, but now I'm like I always just think like we have free will, and like the things that we do are like most because of like the choices that we make, and we're free to do those choices. So I don't think I question on my faith, not because I question that there's a higher power. I just think like maybe the choices that I make or whatnot. You know what I mean? Like I don't listen to myself. So I think like when the time like during the hardest time of my life, when I thought like I was super duper 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 faithful and like my faith was super strong, I think the thing that I kind of felt bad was I didn't listen to the still small voice in my head and I went the other route and stuff happened. And you know what I mean? Like, does that make sense? It's more like I questioned my own judgment and my own discernment, and I thought I was gifted with those.
Well, I actually love the fact that, you know what, when it comes to Lee, she actually knows also the reasons why behind it. I actually think that that's also a gift. Like when you know like the reasons why you question certain things. As for me, I think the hardest part of me, of my faith way back then was when I was really like a small kid. You know, I was like praying that hopefully like, you know what, I can sleep. And then when I wake up in the morning, that I'm not going to feel the way I feel. But you know what, it's been like really uh, a tough road, you know, but at the same time, I was very thankful then to my friends who were like similar like me in terms of ways and in terms of like the way we live our lives, or you know, and that actually like kept me going. But you know what, but because we are ingrained in our culture to keep on praying that hopefully someday like we will find the answers. So definitely when I was like a really really young child, maybe like 5, 6, 7, at that time I was really almost like questioning that hopefully one day I can just wake up and not feel the way I feel. So how about you, Ate Sonia?
Oh, questioning. I don't question I question always myself. So I question why it happened. Why why it happen? The whys of life, of course, as I said before. And of course, I always question, oh, why did I deserve this? Why did I got, and then I turn to my faith because I think that I may not be a perfect Christian, Catholic, but I know what is right and wrong and what is to be prevented. And that's just being careful. But we're only people, so people make mistakes, and from mistakes you learn a lot, and you deserve to. You have to deserve your failure. You have to know your failure so you know where you will succeed.
So my follow-up question with that is, so after you questioned your faith, was there ever a time also that you said, oh my gosh, I think this happened because of my faith? Like for me, if I could actually give an example, you know, like as you all know, for the longest time, for at least I think 17 years, I was like a makeup artist for retail. You know, I remember then I asked like, oh, you know what, like how can I be like a trainer one day, or like a national makeup artist, you know, for the brand that I was working for. So the advice that was given to me was, you know, you need to be top producer for a company, blah 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 blah, and you know, top in credit. So I did that, and then I was like never promoted. So I was like in a way back then also questioning, Lord, why is it like that? You know, I mean, they said that, you know what, when I do this and I did it, then, you know, those are the ingredients for me to be where I need to be. You know, until after 17 years or so of like doing makeup in retail, then the opportunity came along. You know, like there was this woman who I never thought that would ever come in my life, who really opened the doors for me. And if not because of her, I will not be where I'm at right now. So I feel like if I lost my faith then of like, I just kept on like saying that there's a reason, there's a reason, there's a reason why I was always being denied, that there's always a no, then now I can actually say that, yes, there's a reason why there's like several no's. It's because I did not give up on my faith, and God gave me this, and this is what's being prepared for me. But perhaps at that time I was being tested with, my patience, with how much I would keep going. And so that's actually when I said, oh my gosh, you know what? Because of my faith, you know what? I am here.
So I think the way I understand your question is like in terms of how faith have helped you, things kind of happen for you. So in my case, I prayed really hard. Like, for example, moving to the United States, when I found out like that we have more rights here in the United States, like in terms of equality, in terms of having relationships, being able to be protected, like with jobs, I knew that I wanted to immigrate here, and I prayed very hard. I actually prayed the novena, so that I can like be able to immigrate here and be here permanently. And I feel like I prayed so hard at that time, and I focused so hard also at that time, and I got what I prayed for, and it's even more than what I even wanted, So so definitely I think faith and prayers and kind of help me focus on things and kind of get things that I pray for and I want, if I stay with my faith. Does that make sense? Or if I just have faith that it will happen, or that I kind of focus my energy to that route.
Well, I can actually agree with you. I mean, I actually love this verse. Like, of these three remain faith, hope, and love. Of course, love is like the most powerful out of the three, but faith is there. So I definitely think that the fact that you actually connect them to everything only says the answer to that. And so I definitely agree with you, Angel. Miss Lee, Miss Sonia?
I would just like start from the very beginning when I'm a kid. I think my fate led me to my love for music. Um, First of all, like I feel like when I was a kid, there's this album called Kids Praise 2. And I feel like a lot of the songs there, it's like the first album that I listened to, and then I liked singing the songs and memorized all the songs in that like album. And I probably was like 4. So, like faith introduced me to music. And I'm forever grateful for that. And I think for my hunger to have a relationship with for me to be able to like have something to believe in, that there's a greater power more than myself, it led me to founders, to MCC. And I feel like like the people that I've met there have strengthened or just taught me various things that I would not have known if I just kept on being spoon fed, like I said, like before. So I think there's a lot of things because I yearned to have a relationship um, that has happened to me because I did yearn that relationship. So does that make sense?
Yes,
Yeah.
again, it makes sense because again, it's always intertwined. And the fact that you were able to cultivate that relationship, especially with MCC, with the church you're in, it, because I believe, hopefully this is just my personal opinion, because you also share the same faith together. And when you share the same faith together, then of course you basically get to have that, brotherhood, that sisterhood, like in serving Christ. So again, we're not imposing our beliefs on anyone. It's just that we're just talking about faith. And we would be more than happy to hear everyone's take on what faith is to them as well. But before we go to Ate Sonia, let's say hello to our brothers and sisters in our live chat. We actually have Kuya Ram from New York City, Miss Jen from Los Angeles, Miss Elvira, Miss Ira, and also Miss Lena and Michael as well. Yes. So again, so far we're talking about, was there ever a time in your life where you said, oh my God, the reason why this happened is because of my faith? So again, please let us know your answers. And before I read some of the comments, let's proceed to you, Ate Sonia.
Oh yes, regarding that, when something does not go your way, you question your faith. So did I neglect? Did I neglect? Did not pray for this? Did that I, in my lifetime, of course, I had my own extra extracurricular things happening to me. So happened to me. I I always thought that these things happened for a purpose, and of course, sometimes when things happens for a purpose, sometimes you think that that was the right thing, but at the end of the day, you will think that, oh, this will be one of my good things notes. This will be my questionable. These are my bad points. So there. Then you think of that bad notes, and this is where my faith is a little up and down, up and down, up and down. So question it, not question it, just like you just have to think of it. Okay. Ah, okay. Ooh, you know, and just say, Lord, I'm sorry.
And I guess that's okay. You know, I mean, as we're just humans. At the end of the day, we're never perfect. And I think, you know what, as God's children, or, I mean, like, it's okay to ask. It's okay to ask questions. On that note, you know what, we actually have like similar comments right here about that. Miss Lena said, I never questioned my faith. But she also said that she also questioned herself if I was doing the right thing. And then I also and Elvira said, can't say so much about my faith, but I actually want to read what Ira Red Torres said. She said, I don't question my faith, but sometimes I question God. And let me just translate a little bit of this. Like, sometimes if it keeps on going on and on, perhaps challenges, I just go out and look at the sky and ask God why while crying. I actually think that I can actually relate to Ira, just like what Angel said, because it's like yes, why? Especially like when, again, if I go back to like when I was young, it's like, why me? Why am I like this? Why do I feel this way? It's like, why not like the other people? Why me? So how about you guys? Do you ever felt that way too? Like, why, what Ira just commented, like why me? Did you ever question
Yes,
yourself as well like
Ira.
that?
I know, Ira. Yes, Ira, Viva. Wherever in Japan together, we always have these moments of like that. So yes, do you question yes, to ask why, as I've said before, why, and because there's, who can you talk to? Of course, God. You can talk to God anywhere and any time, and what you are feeling. And are you questioning? You're just talking to Him. Talk to God and talk about your good and good things, bad things. You talk to Him, and He will give you a sign.
I think during those times, like when you question and say why, and like I looked up in the sky, I kind of like wanting answers right away. I mean, one of our Bible study at MCC, I remember because I've joined MCC also with Lee, and when we go to this Bible study, and God pretty much, sometimes when you ask him a question or them a question, it's, the answer might be yes, might be no, or might be, I don't have an answer yet. And unfortunately, at that times, on those dark times that I didn't understand, I didn't know if things are gonna go better, just being part of the LGBT community, not accepted by the family, not accepted by faith, by school. Like, I feel like it's forever gonna be like that. I didn't know that the answer doesn't have to be right now, that like I yeah, I mean, now I understood it, and now I'm very happy that I stayed on and I didn't give up, because now I'm living as who I am. And so when I was growing up, like really praying so hard to be a girl, and it just never happened, and it doesn't seem like it's ever gonna happen. And I would like look on the sky as well, or pray, or like, question if God still exists, if God is like good, or I think at that time I didn't realize that the answer will be just wait, just wait a little bit, girl, you know, and you're gonna be a girl, which is kind of what happened eventually. So I'm very grateful and thankful now. But at that time, really, it's a big why, like why kind of thing. So I totally can relate. Thank you for sharing that comment. And yeah.
Miss Lee?
Oh, am I the only one that hasn't spoken? Let me. Yeah, I guess like, cause like now, like for me, like there's a God that's in me. There's a God like we're all interconnected and stuff. So I do question a lot, and I feel like you're there's I think a verse in the Bible. I think it's Jacob. I think it's Jacob that wrestled with God. So that they can get something from. So like I do wrestle with my own demons and I wrestle with stuff, but I feel like before I would question why it's happening to me, and I thought like it was God that was given those things to me as a test of faith, but now it's different. I just feel like all that happened to me is because I have made those choices in my life, and I listened or not to like my inner voice. Does that make sense? And now I feel like when I speak to God, it's not more of a questioning, but an asking for what I need to do so I can overcome whatever I'm feeling. Because like it's like that was like me before. It's like why? Because I felt like a God, like I didn't feel worthy. I felt like God was punishing. But now my belief is like totally different. Like I don't believe in a punitive God. I believe in a loving God and a caring God. And whatever happens to me that doesn't align to what I wish was happening, it's all because of me and like the things that are surrounding my environment.
For a few of our viewers like me, what does punitive mean to you when you
Punishment.
say, yeah, okay. That's what I thought.
As we again say, Lee is the valedictorian here, so she knows all the deep words. Thank you, Miss Lee, for correcting that word for us. By the way, on that note, if you all are enjoying our conversation, I know it's quite serious and deep. Please give us a thumbs up and please make a comment so we can press the X and also give us a thumbs up right there. Yes. So now, before I actually go to the next question, let's actually read some comments. Dylan said, I have had a lot of bad things that have happened to me and caused me to question my faith and if there is a God, but I do still keep that faith along with a belief in science, but I do not believe in church. So, and we're going to be talking about faith and church later, by the way. Now, let's actually read what Michael Gregory said. Michael said, I lean more towards Buddhism, Taoism, Mohism, Shintoism, etc. I generally describe myself as atheist. I was brought up atheist. Well, Michael, we respect you and we're sending you love. And thank you so much for being here. Yes, for being one with us and at least like giving your ear and also telling us, your background and everything. So now my next question is faith
Can we
a
answer
choice?
some of the questions on the like there's a question about, is everybody on the panel Christian?
I answered that. I actually said yes, but I typed it right on the
I'm
group
not.
chat.
So I'm not.
Oh, you're
I
not. So
used
sorry.
I used to be. I used to be. I grew up. I would think of me as a hodgepodge of different beliefs, with Christ teachings being the center. I don't describe myself being a Christian, but I'm a Christ follower because that's what I grew up with and that's what I study and that's what I sort of follow. But I don't think I'm a Christian because I also take stuff here and there. Like I do yoga, I do Akashic readings, and I follow crystal healing and whatnot. So I feel like because I'm part of like Metropolitan Community Church, it opened my mind on like, like all of the religions that are being taught have like very big similar things, and you really don't have to believe in anything as long as like you're doing good, and you trust in like if you're working in the spirit of love. Like you don't have to believe in anything, and more power to you. You know what I mean? Like I don't really consider myself as a Christian.
I
Well,
love
I
what you
am
just said.
a Catholic Christian. I grew up Catholic, but I also believe like my perception of a God is like pretty much like the universe, you know. So it's basically the higher power, something higher than each individual, each of us, each human beings. So but I still consider myself Catholic Christian. If that's the question.
Yeah, Catholic here, but of course I learned from different views and different where is Christ and where I will learn about more about Christ. I grew up as a Catholic, I will die as a Catholic, but I am very open and I entertain lots of things that talks about Christ. And I think as I grew older and much older, I will take that, and it is just if it's about Christ and it's about true love and the true love of Jesus Christ, why not? Learn it, live it.
And to answer your question, Michael, well, yes, I'm Catholic Christian, but at the same time, I guess because I as much as possible, I want to live by the word love. And so I also, just like Lee, just like Angel, like just like Ate Sonia, whenever I get invited to all these gatherings, like I've like attended like how correct me if I'm wrong, but I have like Buddhist friends. Sometimes I've actually chanted with them Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, and I've also attended like born again Christian faith, and I've also like attended like a Protestant church. Like sometimes when I travel with my workplace, and then there's like no, or like Baptist church. I mean, all I'm saying is, as long as where I can actually find a community, as long as where I can actually find my beliefs, as long as where I can actually feel the love and the respect and the brotherhood and sisterhood and everything that's good for humanity, I'm there. So it's just that's basically how perhaps we were just like brought up, because of basically our culture, but that doesn't mean that we are not loving and welcoming of other beliefs, if I'm saying that correctly. So on that note, thank you so much for that question. Oh my gosh, wow, what a deep topic. So now my next question
It's complicated.
It's complicated, right? So is faith a choice? For me, perhaps faith is a choice, because at the end of the day, you know what? It depends on the individual. Are you going to live by it or not? So whatever it is that you live by in your life, all I'm wishing is wishing you well, and I hope that, you will find like, whatever it is that people would believe or choose to do in their lives. I always just believe that hopefully what I hope for them is for them to find their peace, for them to find their happiness, and for them to find their purpose in whatever area that may be. So for me personally, faith is a choice. How about you guys?
I mean, I understand that it's a choice, because like some people would consider themselves, atheist, or like a believer, non-believer, or agnostic, like I neither confirm nor deny. So definitely I think it's a choice in terms of how you want to act on it, or how you want to identify yourself as. But for me, I think it's not a choice. I think there's no way I would not believe that there's nothing higher than me. It's impossible for me to think that there's nobody higher than me. So I think it's impossible for me not to say that there's a higher power or a higher being, or a God, So some people might call it different ways. That's why I might use the words differently, because my perception of a God right now is like the higher power, something higher than me. And definitely there are a lot of things higher than me. There's a lot of things that are beyond my control. So I think it's not a choice for me, because I know that I'm not a God. I know that there's something more than me. So it's not a choice for me in that sense, if that makes sense to you guys.
Of course it makes sense. Yes. Miss Lee or Miss Sonia?
Like I was gonna answer one way, but listening to Angel, I'm like probably I'm the same way. Um, like thank you for clarifying putting those into words because like I don't think I can live a life without having a place that would center me. I think like that's something that I need for my own mental health. Um, and I also do need spiritual health, but I do think it's also like a choice because that's why I have trust issues, you know? That's why I'm a little bit jaded when it comes to like relationships sometimes and it takes me a while to open up to certain people because like I've been burned and like you know so I do have like certain like walls that I've put up because I'm not like oh my god everybody's awesome, everybody's great, everybody's gonna accept me and they're not gonna judge me, you know, like I do have those. So like sometimes like you know but like with my personal relationship with my higher power, like with what Angel said, like, and I feel like Angel, the higher power brought you to DSW to buy those 3 shoes.
Thank you, higher power. Well, thank you for that, Miss Lee. And Miss Sonia, how about you before we read some comments?
Yes, faith is a choice, and not with your higher power, even in your friends. You have to have faith in your friends also. So have faith in yourself also, and yes, faith is a choice. I mean, let's not make it difficult. So have faith in everybody and me. Darling, can you
I,
see?
I love that, Ate Sonia. And you know what? Since we're talking about faith here, and it seems like, you know what, we're finding so many words on what is related to faith. I actually read this at wordhippo.com. It says, what is another word for faith? I actually saw here, it actually says trust, dependence, loyalty, dedication, fidelity, confidence, expectation, commitment, and hopefulness. So I actually love that when I read that. Now let's actually read some comments. So, what Miss Elvira Spina said, I wasn't born or raised atheist, but I realized that it was ultimately on other humans' actions which decide your fate. She also said after that, what's your advice to those young trans people who keep their faith and praying but nothing happens? Who wants to answer that question?
So like earlier, I shared that sometimes the answer is not a yes or no right away. Sometimes it's wait for the answer. So so I hope you could keep reflecting, keep meditating, keep praying, and hopefully you'll get the answer at some point.
If I can answer that question, I actually love what you said, Angel, that it's not like it's perhaps it's not yet a yes or it's not yet a no, but it also doesn't mean that just because it's not yes, but it doesn't mean that just because it's not yet a yes or it's not yet a no now, then in the future it might not be a yes or a no for you. What do I mean by that? What I actually meant was, if you actually have, you know, what's the question again? Let me double check. When she actually said, what's your advice to those young trans people who keep their faith and praying but nothing happens? So again, to answer that question, well, you just need to keep on going because you still need to live. And when you need to live, then perhaps what you just need to do is just do the best that you can in making the right choices that you think is best for you. And nobody can really tell what the best choice is for you because we're just humans. There are certain things that we cannot control in our environment. But at that moment in your life, you're trying to do your best to choose what's best for you. And at the end of the day, when you go to bed and sleep, at least you know you did the best that you can to find answers. And then hopefully one day, the answers will just come along in whatever form that may be. Because again, as humans, nobody can really tell, you know, what's gonna happen for you. You know, I mean, even if we do like all the right things today, even if we have all the ingredients today, the outcome might still be different tomorrow. So that's my answer to that question. Miss Lee, Miss Sonia.
So I think there's also a verse in the Bible that says faith without works is dead. So I think like there's, and again it's like you kind of like predestined, like I don't believe that there's predestination, like there's like a set path that you're already supposed to like go so that you can go. I think you make your own decisions really in life. So I feel like sometimes, even though it might be scary, you just have to like listen to what your intuition says, like as Ali said, like continue to live your life. If you listen to your intuition, like I transitioned like literally, like because I felt like if I didn't do that, if I wasn't going to be authentic already, I would die. And I didn't have a plan. I just did it. And it was scary, but you know, like it worked its way. Like it worked its way, and like there's so I had so like since I didn't have a plan, I probably had so many missteps. But also it just made me a more like it opened my mind to like different things. So I feel like to those trans people that uh keep praying, like there's probably something that you need to do action wise, because like prayer really doesn't do much. It's more like putting that out to the universe, but then you also have to work on stuff, and maybe like find an ally, find people that would help you through the way, because like I feel like community is like a really really big thing, especially for young trans folks, and support is very a huge thing also for young trans people.
Love that, Miss Lee. Yes, just do it. Yes, actions.
Yes.
Okay, Alex,
Yes.
Sonia, how about you?
Yes. Amen. Well, for me, yes. Why does it happen? It will happen. You know, when God already knows when you pray for something. So, in His time, it will happen to you. It may not happen now, but one day, as I've said before, something great will happen. I said, oh, I think this is what I prayed for. Just pray simple. Do not do not overflower your prayers, because God will, pray simple, and He will know. And just as I've said, before you pray or ask something for God, He already knows what you want. And I've said, He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. Deuteronomy 31, verse 8.
I want to add, like, similar to what Lee was like saying, I think of this like popular phrase in the Philippines, nasa Diyos ang awa, nasa tao ang gawa. So you can keep praying, but you also have to do actions, because like the Lord has the mercy, but you have to act. And then I want to add like the Serenity Prayer. I love praying that, which is basically, like Lord, give me the courage to do the things that I can do, accept the things that I cannot change, and hopefully give me the wisdom to know the difference on things, because that might help, in terms of finding the answer. But joining us in the community gathering every week will surround you with a lot of people who are actually like-minded as well. And I think that will help. It's actually an action in itself, even though it's not like as a very like strong forward action. So hopefully you guys can learn from us here every week when we are here. And maybe that will, lead you somewhere. So I thank you very much for joining, everyone, and for asking questions as well. Ali, what's the next?
Great. The next question is, what is the difference between faith and fate, in your own words? Well, for me, faith, of course, we already defined that. Faith for me is that personal belief, that my personal choice, of me kind of like holding on to like my higher power. Fate for me is something I cannot control. That is already predestined for me. So sometimes whatever it is that I pray for, if that's not my faith, then that's not my faith. So I feel like I put my trust in both my faith and my fate, FATE, that whatever happens in my life happens for a reason. And because I know that it happens for a reason, I know that that moment or that situation was planned in the events of my life in order for me to continue or live my purpose. And I thank you. Who wants to go next?
Lee.
I so we talked about faith with the TH, but I think like faith with the TE, I feel like that's something that's inevitably going to happen to you when you don't when you kind of don't listen to science, or if you don't listen to good judgment, sound judgment, whatnot. Like if you think like you can go sailing during a storm and you're not gonna drown and your boat's not gonna capsize because your faith in God will not but your fate, you're predestined because of what you did. Your fate is really your boat's gonna capsize and you're probably going to go into a fishing boat accident because you went to the ocean when it's there's a huge storm and there are tidal waves going on and happening, or if you didn't wear your mask during the beginning of the pandemic and you went and visited somebody that's elderly, their face, you're affecting other people because you don't listen to certain things. I think that's fate, but I don't really believe in super predestined stuff. I feel since the what do you call this, my chromosomes were like this, that I was born a baby that happened to become transgender because so I feel there fate is it's not super duper future, but I feel it's going to happen to you if your actions aren't sound. And does that make sense at all? I'm rambling.
It totally makes sense, but because at the end of the day, this is what you feel, and whatever it is that you feel is valid. I mean, just for example, we know that the topic today is about, transgender faith, right? We pretty much have or an expectation of perhaps what we're going to be talking about, but the faith is, you never know what's going to happen. Just for example, when I believe it was Elvira or Ira who asked something and suddenly I lost myself, that was my fate. My fate was I lost myself. So anyway, that's just the way I kind of see that. Ate Sonia, how about you?
Oh, faith and faith. Just don't do stupid things, and your bad fate will never happen. As I've said, do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what a day may bring forth. Proverbs 27 verse 1. So no amount of things can compensate for time. So your faith in your heart, in your mind, and your faith, just don't do stupid things, and it will be fine.
Yes. By the way, we also want to say hi to Miss Bien. Hi, Miss Bien. And Miss
Hi,
Bien
Bien.
actually said, faith for me is me surrendering all of my being to God. Yes. And Miss Elvira said, hey, no offense, just trying to learn more a bit of the religious mind perspective. And basically, that's basically what we are here for is, we have belief in everyone. We have belief in all of you, our viewers, our brothers and sisters, because even all of us, we're finding the answers. But that's the reason why at the end of the day, we gather as a community, because we just want to hear each person's point of view. Because at the end of the day, as humans, we will never be perfect. But my faith is, because of all of us learning from each other, that's what makes this world perfect and beautiful. Yes. So now, my next question is, what is your final thoughts on faith? My final thoughts on... Okay, go ahead, Angel.
No, it's okay. Well, my final thoughts. I know it's kind of complicated, and we're like kind of treading the waters here. It's a very serious topic. It's very sensitive to everyone. We kind of grow up differently, so we want to be respectful of everyone as well. But I think in the end, it's very simple. As what Ali said earlier, the bottom line is it's love. I think if your faith is coming from love, then I think we are pretty much all on the same page, and it will be a little bit more simple. Love is love. Happy Pride.
Angel, thank you. Miss Lee or Sonia?
Okay, for me, all I can say is it it shall be done to you according to your faith, and that is Matthew 9:39. And of course, persevere, persevere. Okay, ladies.
Miss Lee Faelnar?
It's just personal. It's faith is personal. So yeah, no. Make it personal. Don't try to like push your faith to somebody else. No use. I feel like that's what's gonna cost, like, if you can't step back and you can't think of how the other person is thinking, and you try to push your own beliefs to somebody, then I think that's why wars start, and that's why there's disagreements and whatnot. So I feel like just don't push it. You don't have to. If it's personal, if it's for you, if it makes you happy, then do it. But like, don't try to convince other people otherwise.
And if I could answer about faith, faith for me is everybody. You know, whatever it is that's best for you, I'm supportive of you. Whatever it is for your happiness, I'm happy for you. And just like what Angel said, it all boils down to love. And if all boils down to love, then your heart can never lead you wrong. On that note, yes, that's transgender faith. Yes. And again, if you want to win a fragrance, yes, please comment. I mean, please subscribe to our channel, Transgender TV, and please give a thumbs up to this video, and please make a comment on what faith is to you, whatever you want to say about faith. And of course, if our winner is going to be from overseas, you're going to receive $20 instead of the fragrance as well. Okay, now it's time for promotion. Miss Sonia, Miss Angel, Miss Lee, and of course, if our brothers and sisters have like some words to say, we would love to hear what you have to say as well.
Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. I'm Angel Qinan. My Instagram handle is ANGELQINAN, and I hope you keep joining us here on YouTube, Trans Sisters TV every Sunday. And please like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, thank you. Thank you for being here.
And before we proceed to Miss Lee and Miss Sonia, Elvira said, find the equilibrium, because the excess of one can lead to a downfall, as can the lack of one. There you go. All for one, one for all. Yes. Miss Lee, Miss Sonia.
Yes, I'm Sonia, the only one. Sonia Agbayani in Instagram and Facebook page. And of course, in Japanese, all I can say is one word, arigatai. And that means let's be grateful. And I'm Sonia the one, mabuhay, and keep on watching Transgender TV and learn and win surprises.
And before we go to Miss Lee, I just want to read what Miss Lena said. Miss Lena said, be love, not a solicitor. Yes, nobody here solicits. Love will attract. And again, Miss Elvira said, respect everyone, love everyone, let them be themselves. And that's all I got to say. Thank you. Okay, Miss Lee.
However, we are soliciting your likes and your comments. I'm Lee065 on Instagram. Well, happy Father's Day to all the fathers and father figures out there, especially to my father, who's like with me in spirit. I love you so very much. And Ate Sonia, your father was also shown in a video in MCC. Yeah, so if you're talking about faith and you have like any questions, like feel free to like visit mostlyangelsla.com. Like it's a queer space, like we can like do different type of stuff. and they can help you find your way, or also go to MCC LA. And in the words of one of the best prophets out there, John Lennon, imagine all the people living for today, and imagine all the people living life in peace.
Yes, Miss Lee. And again, my name is AllyCat Castle. I hope you can also support my other channel, AllyCat Castle, where I actually do like unboxings as well as unbagging, as well as skincare, makeup, and fragrance reviews. And lately, I've been doing makeup and story time. And then my past episode was about what do you call it? Transitioning as a transgender woman at work. So there you go. So hope you can support us. And again, please give this video a thumbs up, and also please make a comment, and also subscribe to our channel as well. So back to you, Angel.
Yeah. So bye, everyone. Thank you so much for joining.
Transistors TV, we love you.
We love you.
Please make a